Venus, I'm actually really glad that you brought up stakeholders in the last segment because it is such an important consideration. But when we say the word stakeholders, how would you even really define that?
That's a great question, because I would like to categorize them by their roles and responsibilities within the organization instead of naming, the common departments: sales, marketing, IT. With that logic in mind, probably you will end up having content publishers, content consumers, administrators, and developers. And they all have different skill sets, and they're all very important because they're the ones who are living in the system day in and day out. So it's really important to understand their needs and skill sets at the same time.
When we talk about the communication process, I just think when you think about different teams or different people, some may just be inherently more vocal about their needs than others. Do you think that you should talk to stakeholders collectively as a whole, or do you think that you should talk to each sort of team individually?
Well, I would say a little bit of both. You can think of this like there are two phases. The first phase, maybe ask them about the workflow, their current workflow, and where they want to get. And then put them all together as a project manager or IT manager, whoever is taking on this project. Put them all together and see the big picture, and then invite them into the conversation and try to iron out all like the conflicts or like the wrinkles between those cross-functional departments.
Yeah. And then when you also think about the functionalities and the people within the organization, it's really an important consideration to think about the digital appetite of each team. How much work can they do development-wise, or how much work, is your marketing team a little bit more of a technology team as well? And so in choosing a content management system, it's important to look at, and perhaps even speak to people that use it, how much work can be done internally? Is your team equipped with that knowledge to do it internally? And that said, if you can't, can you afford to have someone else come in and work on it for you? What's the best option in terms of how it functions within your organization?
Definitely, because there are so many different types of CMS right now. There is the CMS approach, there is open source, there is another ones in like the cloud and on-premise. There are so many options, and you need to know what you have in terms of your resources and what you should bring into your project. So this is a very valid point to make.